of you don't know me, I was born up north. I was born in Fort Sill. My dad's here. Dad served, 23 years in the military, and I was one of 7 kids. And I tell people, I said, my parents taught me the difference of needs and wants early in life. Gave me everything we ever needed. I said, but the difference, what you found was needs was a real small list. Wants were the things you went out and earned for yourself. A little bit about me. I graduated from Eisenhower High School in 1972, Cameron University in 1978. Went to work for Bell Telephone at 18. At age 20, I was in management. 21 was promoted again in the Office of Planning and Budgets, doing independent cost studies and audits across the state. 28, started my own business. With a part-time employee, grew that to 50 employees to 6 locations in Oklahoma and Texas. At 39, I ran for county commissioner. Did not take a single penny in campaign contributions, and because I was concerned about the negative impact of money in politics. I read a book called Bad Times for Good Old Boys about the county commissioner scandal, talking about corruption and waste and kickbacks and bribes. I said, the difference today, guys, we don't call them kickbacks, we call them campaign contributions. It's amazing what decisions we make in government based on campaign contributions. When I was county commissioner, I started looking for better, more efficient ways of doing things. We started saying, instead of trying to follow the model, the number one reason that things are done in government is because they've always been done that way. What we did, we started looking at the problems. We had a problem with the county jail. No one was addressing the problem. I put together the plan to come up with the funding to build a new county jail. All the other people wanted to put it on our property taxes. I said, folks, it's not the property owners causing the problem. So we did a 1/4-cent sales tax for 10 years, built the jail, took care of that problem. We had tremendous problems with bridges. We had 50 bridges in my district that were substandard. And instead of doing it the same old way, what we did is we said, what can we do better? So we started looking at better models, going around looking at other states, other counties, and we built 34 bridges in my district, all steel and concrete, the most in the history of the state, saved the county millions of dollars. And in the process, what we did is we ran into some bureaucratic red tape. They said, you can't use these funds and build the bridges yourself. I said, why? I said, because Oklahoma law says you can't. I said, it's fine, let's change the law. We worked with the legislative committee of the Association of County Commissioners, and I wrote the law that changed, that now allowed us to build bridges using funds ourselves. If you go down here a mile south, there's a 100-foot bridge that the county built for the city of Lawton. It's the only bridge in the history of Oklahoma that's built fully to federal specifications. And what's amazing is we had contracted that bridge out up on a Wolf Road, and that 100-foot bridge through the contract process cost $107,000. We built the exact same bridge on Bishop Road for $149,000. Folks, that's where you make progress. Using tax dollars more efficiently, more effectively, and doing the things necessary to make government more responsible. I ran for state auditor in 2002. I'm a certified public accountant. I'm a certified fraud examiner. I didn't win that election. But after the election, what we discovered was that over half of my opponents' contributions were illegal. And in that process, I was the one that did the homework, putting names together on Google and searching and finding the pieces of the puzzle to find out that what was involved was a huge scheme involving Gene Stein. How many of you ever heard of Gene Stein? We put together the pieces of the puzzle, took it to the FBI, and on the second meeting, the FBI said, Gary, for 30 years we've been trying to catch these guys. You've just provided us a roadmap directly to them. That resulted in 8 indictments and 7 convictions. And folks, I'm here to tell you today, that's just the tip of the iceberg. If you look and saw what we discovered and what we found, is there are hundreds of millions of dollars being wasted. There's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of corruption and fraud that there's no incentive to find. Let me tell you that I believe the best senator in the nation, bar none, is Dr. Tom Coburn. And Dr. Coburn has the label of Dr. No. And I will tell you right now that the #1 word that is not used enough in government is no. That we're not willing to tell the lobbyists, we're not willing to tell the special interests no, and we're not willing to stand up and to do the things necessary to make it a better place for our kids and grandkids. And I'll tell you that one of the things Dr. Coburn has said, that we are at the risk right now of being the first generation to leave this country worse off than we found it. Folks, I don't want to do that. My wife Mary Jane's here. She's taught kindergarten at Cash now. This is her 35th year of teaching. We've got 3 beautiful, two great kids, 3 beautiful grandkids. And I will tell you right now, I want to do the things necessary to correct the problems and put us on a different path. And the way we do that is we stand up and say no. We stand up and do the things necessary to stop the corruption and go in and start doing performance audits. I mentioned the way we put together a Good Bridge program was that we went out to look to see better ways. I have a saying, I made it up myself. I said, I hate to be the guy that invented the wheel. He probably spent a lifetime doing it, and he was bankrupt by the time he was through, but the next person picked up on the idea and made a fortune off of it. What we need to do is to go around to the other 49 states and look for more efficient, more effective ways of doing things and bring those models to Oklahoma and improve on them. There's enough money in government. The problem is that we're not using that money properly. The last thing we need to do is put additional burdens on our kids and grandkids, because I, for one, want to be one of the people that makes the difficult decisions today to correct this course we're on, because I believe my kids and grandkids are worth it. I'd love to have your vote and love to have your support. Thank you very much.